Martinez live.
Hey, keeping the blood circulating, that's what it's all about. Get moved, ladies and gentlemen. 14 minutes before the top of the hour. Anthony Losquadro joins us now. He's the founder, director of Intaction. He founded the organization in an effort to give children a voice over their body autonomy and to raise awareness on the importance of an intact body. Anthony, welcome to Bill Martinez Live. How are you?
Hey, Bill, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on your show.
Good to have you here to talk about what has become a bit of a controversy, and that has to do with circumcision. And we're finding that the rates have dropped sharply in the U.S. Why are men opting out on circumcision these days? Or, for that matter, usually, it's the young boys that are circumcised, shortly after birth.
Yeah, men that are intact are deciding not to get circumcised, and parents of newborns are deciding not to do that to their sons, because people are realizing that foreskin is actually very important and functional anatomical tissue that nature put on our bodies. I mean, it's in our DNA. It's part of who we are.
Mm-hmm. Well, break it down, help our audience understand the medical benefits and the health concerns pertaining to circumcision.
Well, I mean, the benefits of foreskin is that, we say that the foreskin has 4 powers, which is pleasure, protection, lubrication, and connection. The foreskin has like over 20,000 specialized nerve endings in it that nature put there for a very good reason. It's very functional. And it protects the end of the penis the same way your eyelid protects your eye.
Mm-hmm. And so, and understanding that, I mean, some go off of, some religious, previous religious beliefs. Certainly we knew it in terms of the Jewish religion and the call of God to have a child circumcised. And, of course, this was greatly identified with the Jewish faith. And then as it came west, it started to be included because some saw that as a health benefit. But you're saying now there's a contraindication to that.
Yeah, well, Europe, for thousands of years, Europeans have never embraced circumcision for any of these health reasons or whatever. And every medical association in Europe, pediatric association, medical association, has said that this is all it's bunk. There are no benefits. Europeans are almost wholly intact, like 99%, and they have less health issues, less STDs, less incidence of HIV infection than Americans do. So these benefits are really what we call a red herring.
Right. Well, the loudest argument, as you say, against circumcision is that many believe it's medically unnecessary and a form of genital mutilation without a person's consent. In fact, according to a recent YouGov survey, only 33% of 18 to 29-year-olds feel that male children should be routinely circumcised.
Well, that mirrors what we find in speaking to people. Younger people are looking at this information objectively. They're not invested in these decisions of the past. And they're saying that this is the way nature designed our bodies to be. Why would we want to change it?
What has caused this, what you might call a seismic negative shift in men's perception about circumcision?
Well, I think, first of all, Americans overall are looking for a more natural and a healthy way of living their life. So they see foreskin as part of that. I think there's more access to information that we never had in the past. Like, for instance, my parents or perhaps your parents, they basically had to take what the doctor said at face value. But today people can research things online. There's a lot of discussion about this on social media, discussion with their friends. I think people are more open about talking about these issues now than they have been in the past. It's not verboten to speak about this type of stuff.
Right.
And, when they talk about this, they're realizing they're getting the information and saying what we've done in the past is really crazy.
Mm-hmm. For you as the founder and director of Intaction, intaction.org, what was your motivation in finding the organization?
Well, even as a child, when I went to Italy and I went to Florence and I saw these Renaissance statues and sculptures, and their penises looked different than what I saw as American penises. And I didn't understand what the difference is. And then when I was in the military later on in life, some of my mates were intact. And again, I wondered why they were different than many of the rest of us. And I started to look into this, and I started to realize how the medical industry was pushing this on Americans. And, it seemed like they were more interested in their insurance reimbursements and their profits than they were about the future of American baby boys and what their sex life was really going to be later on in life. And I felt like somebody needed to speak up about this. And if I couldn't do it, who else could? So I founded Intaction to give really the next generation a voice about the autonomy of their own bodies.
And in doing that, now, how long has Intaction been around?
I've been doing this over 10 years. I've spoken internationally. I've traveled internationally, conferences. We run events on a regular basis where we interact with the public. We're very big on social media and online. And it's been really such a positive interaction we have with the public. I have parents that come up to me and they thanked us for being out there and getting this information out. And we get this on a regular basis. And it's so satisfying to me to know that we're changing people's lives for the better.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you in terms of the response, because as you say, I mean, we don't talk about circumcision every day. I mean, what we do hear about is some of the genital mutilation that's been going on in certain cultures these days. But, considering, circumcision along that course and now taking, new information that we have today, scientific information as well as anecdotal, it really adds credence to Intaction, does it not?
Oh, I mean, absolutely it does. There's cases going on in our country right now. The female genital mutilation has been going on behind closed doors, and people are being prosecuted for that. And people are learning about male genital cutting, which is another way of saying circumcision. And some people, are tying those two things together in their mind, saying what we do to girls and that's illegal and it's wrong. Right. But isn't that similar to what we do to boys also?
Well, I think maybe similar to a degree, but definitely more invasive for a young girl, is it not? I mean, when you talk about genital mutilation of these young girls that's taking place, as we say, in specific cultures, even here domestically in the United States, which is problematic because, we start dealing with, religious issues. And I believe our government is still trying to get its brain around some of this stuff.
Yeah, it is. Female genital mutilation is a spectrum of things that are done to little girls. It can range anything from a nick to more severe forms. So one of the forms is the removal of the clitoral hood, and that's the equivalent of the male foreskin. So there's 4 different types of female genital mutilation. Different cultures practice different variations of those things. So it's not one monolithic thing when it comes to female genital. People think, well, female genital mutilation is one thing, like male circumcision is one thing, and it's not. It's a spectrum of things. Right.
Well, and that's a good point. And Anthony, as the founder and director of Intaction, you're talking, I mean, even though we're talking about boys, I mean, you're really championing for women as well for this, aren't you not?
Oh, absolutely. All individuals have a right to an intact body. And when they become adults, when they become 18, we feel, then they can choose whatever they want to do. I mean, any type of cosmetic procedure, if that's what makes you happy in life, then that's what you should do. But we don't believe it should be done to children because they don't have a right to choose.
Good point. As you noted, the circumcision rates have been dropping sharply in the U.S. Do you see that trend to continue?
We see it continuing, and our mission is to get U.S. rates as low as they are in Europe right now, which is maybe in the 1 or 2% range. So that's what we like to see happen here in the U.S.
And where does it stand right now in the United States?
Well, the last data we have was showing around 56% circumcision rate. Wow. But that data is about 5 years old, so we're not really sure where we're at yet. We estimate we're down around 53, 54% because it's been dropping about 1 or 2% per year. But we're waiting for new data to come in to see really where we're at.
Well, Anthony, where can people go, for more information about Intaction?
Well, they should visit our website at intaction.org, INTACTION. And if your listeners think these issues are important to them and they'd like to support our work, then I would say they should visit our website and see what we're about.
Well, Anthony Losquadro, thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate the information. And again, they can go to intaction.org, intaction.org. And if you should so be inclined to donate, all the information is right there. Anthony Losquadro, the founder and director of intaction.org. Anthony, thank you so much. Appreciate the time. Take care. Have a great day.
Take care, Bill.
You got it. Well, that is a wrap for us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for sharing a part of your day.